What fool thing is Johnny doing now? Well, he's writing yet another Lee Hacklin mystery, and this one is called Who Kapowed Wes Adams, Chapter 2. It's a first draft. I was in my office and immersed in my latest literary diversion, The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. It was a birthday present from my mother. I'm sorry, dear, just words, no pictures. My one window was wedged open. It was a mild day in May, and it took all of my will to ignore the mad cacophony of Daffy Duck level, horn honking frustration from Fifth Avenue, which my office overlooked. I wondered about those drivers out there. How many of them were happy with their lives? How many of them were going to go to their graves with their dreams unrealized? A lot, I surmised. Honk honk, maybe tomorrow. My idiot friend Dan Diamond was right about one thing. 0 is better than -1, and 1 is infinitely better than 0. The elevator doors down the hall crankily slid open, and a besuited octogenarian bolted from the car and sat in one of my client chairs. It was quite the entrance. He was completely bald, and his shiny head was dotted with age spots. What lies ahead, I thought, pun very much intended. He extended his gnarled hand, and I gently shook his wrist. I appreciate your gentleness, but I'm not a porcelain doll. I have arthritis. So what? These copper bracelets help. That book you're reading is terrific. I'm Monte Carlo. Yep, that's my real name. History is rife with kings and emperors named Carlo. I'm the modern day version. I lit a blue buzzard and said, I know who you are, sir, and I'm very sorry about Wes Adams. Carlo was a film and television producer. He owned and ran Carlo Cinematic Productions, based out of New York City for a syndicated network called All Star Media. Most of the movies Carlo produced played in drive-ins, but recently he hit the jackpot with a new show based on a classic pinnacle comic book character named Jack Justice, created by Bob Handel. When he was 10 years old, Jack Justman witnessed the brutal murder of his father. After high school, he joined the Blue Sky City Police Department. To his dismay, he discovered that most of his fellow officers were in the pockets of Pat Prophet, aka the Punster. Jack quit the force because he existed in a comic book. He decided to patrol the streets of Blue Sky City night after night as a masked and caped vigilante Jack Justice. He was aided by his trusty wards Jason Justice and his sister Jill Justice. Any similarity to Batman was very likely on purpose. Some guys get away with stealing in broad daylight in front of multiple witnesses. On the other hand, before Batman there was the Phantom and Zorro. Who cares about originality anyway, other than angry and bitter critics who are content to stew in their juices, drink half-empty glasses of water, and throw stones at the walls of their glass houses, but I digress. The fans of the Jack Justice comic book were not happy with the TV show. Like Batman back in the 1960s, it was pure camp, complete with colorful biffs, bams, and kapows. Maybe the lawyers at DC Comics and 20th Century Fox were forgiving souls. The star was the late great Wes Davis. His acting was so over the top, he made William Shatner look like Leonard Nimoy. Monty said, "There's no, the police rules. The police ruled Wesley's death is suicide. There's no way Wes loved life. He took those pills of somebody else's volition. To watch the show, Lee? Sure. Then you know we have a new lead, Craig Reed. He's been getting death threats. And Craig Lewis. It's a first draft. He's been getting death threats, and we've had some mishaps on set that might not have been mishaps at all. Craig was nearly shot with a gun that wasn't properly checked. The bullet put a hole in the driver's side of the Justicar. Our security chief is reliable, but he's hardly a self-starter, and it's a wonder he can find his ass when he needs to wipe it. But he's got a good heart. I want you two to work together and help restore morale to the set. Our ratings are slipping. Well, Lee, that's my pitch. Consider it caught. Here's your retainer check. He placed a briefcase on my desk, opened it, withdrew a bagged comic book, held it like it was a Fabergé egg, and handed it to me. It was a mint-condition copy of Jack Justice #1, dated 1941, the day Jack Justice battled Hitler and his axis of evil. I said, "Excuse me, sir, I need to use the restroom." Oh, Hallie, what do you think I did the first day? The first time I held that baby. That was the first and last time I ever cried in front of a client. It's a first draft. Happy Friday. And don't forget, God loves you. Cheers.